What's up, everyone? This is DeagleBeagle, and today we're going to cover Malamar. Now, it's hard to say what the best Terra is for it because it has some weaknesses. Um, Specifically, like U-turn is kind of annoying for it. Like U-turn Urshifu is annoying because if you're using Terra Fire, I'm just going to say because you have to predict of whether they're going to use U-turn or Surging Strike. So I was using Terra Fire, and Malamar was pretty good, but defensively I was always worried. But if it could survive and set up Trick Room, it was really good. So I'm thinking now I don't think I want to recommend Fire anymore. It does resist Fairy, but the game is introducing more water attackers than before. Yeah, Urshifu Rapid Strike was always common, but it almost seems like more common now. And or at least water attackers in general, like Suicune and Walking Wake and stuff. And I would probably recommend um, Poison. I mean, you could use Steel, but then you risk the 50-50 of are they going to close combat or U-turn you with Urshifu. I would just use I would use Poison personally right now because you resist U-turn, you resist close combat, you resist Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam, and the only thing you're weak to after that is like Psychic, which you're immune to, and then Ground. So besides Ground, there's almost nothing. And I don't know if they use regular Landorus that is a Ground type, you get a boost. Um, you might be able to just get away with not using your Terra Poison versus a ground type also. But Malamar is really good because it has contrary first of all. Second of all, priority taunt is more common it seems like than regular taunt, even though that may eventually change. And Malamar can just trick room in front of a Tornadus or a Whimsicott, as long as, well, Whimsicott could Moonblast it, but it would survive that probably. And if not, you could always Terra Poison. But also, I'm gonna go over a different one. Uh, by the way, before I do, these are probably that's probably the best way to use it. Malamar is just to use a lot of offense with it, and after one boost, you can just take out so many Pokemon while Trick Room's up. I just prefer Hyper Offense with Trick Room, but I suppose you could use a different item. I'm just gonna show Sash. I don't think there's a lot of other decent items though with it. Sash is probably the best or second best item, probably second best. Um, yeah, and that's because you don't have to Terra with Malamar for it to survive unless they double target it or Surging Strikes it or something. And Terra Ghost would stop Fake Out. You could even use, I guess I'll show one last one. Um, it just depends on whether you want to counter Surging Strikes or do you want to counter Urshifu. If you want to counter Urshifu and not Fake Out, I don't think I would use Dragon because it's still weak to Fairy. You could use Grass or probably Grass or Water or something. The Grass is just use in general when you're pondering whether to use Grass or Water. Usually pick Grass because um, of Amoonguss, and there's just like Pokemon like Rillaboom that super affect Water types. So Malamar's just really underrated, and depends on your team for what Terra you want to use an item, but typically, um, yeah, this Pokemon's just really underrated and counters Incineroar and other things and does decent damage to almost everything, like a superpower. Boosting your attack and defense is really useful. You can hit almost every single Pokemon in the game hard. So yeah, people are sleeping on Malamar maybe because they think it has bad defensive typing. I don't know all the reasons why, but they're kind of dumb reasons. Like, these are just good coverage moves. You have really good coverage with all this, and I guess someone could say, why not use Topsy Turvy? Because that's a really gimmicky move. I suppose you could use Lash Out if, but probably not, because they probably wouldn't, with contrary, they wouldn't probably want to boost that. But if they do, you could do a ton of damage. I would just use these moves, and I don't think you need protect. Try to use your defensive Terra for that, or support from your ally like Rage Powder or Fake Out or whatever. So I think that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.